Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the stream. And this time around, we're going back, playing the Soriwa closed demo again. I'm sitting here with Fiery D2. I was just sending out the link to all the people who were interested in the first episode when we played this demo and completed it. So I just wanted to go through this demo one more time just to talk about a few things. And also we're throwing in a little bit of a twist. We are not going to use the third eye mechanic for anything combat related. Of course, you have to use it for like exploration, puzzles, all that stuff. That's standard, that's normal. But now just gonna play the game as if it were a standard survival horror without this third eye mechanic and see if that changes the gameplay in any meaningful way. Because I personally noticed that when we played yesterday, almost all the combat I engaged in was using third eye mechanics. So hold on.
Easy.
Yeah, I don't know if it made it easier, but it's like I feel like we were overly reliant on it. I never did a fight without it. Even probably there were fights where I didn't need it, I still used it. You know what I mean? So now, if we're gonna go through this without the third eye mechanic, I want to see what exactly it changes. Does it make the combat so much easier, or is it all the same? Because if it's all the same, that's not a good look. You know what I mean? Like when I played Sekiro, it's like the prosthetic arm that they were busy marketing. You could actually finish the game without ever using the prosthetic arm. So you can be like, yeah, it's just flavoring. So at that point, it's like, what's the point of the third eye mechanic? In what sense does it work, and what is it going to do? So now the purpose of this stream, the purpose of this playthrough is to go through the demo again without the third eye and see like did things get better or worse. So we'll see how it goes down. But anyway, welcome everyone to the stream and hope you enjoy. I don't know if the other guys are gonna join, but I know they usually watch these as well when they've gone offline. So I'm gonna just check the settings again just to make sure. I'm gonna start the game. For you D2, when we played through this yesterday, what was the thing that caught your attention about the game? Was there anything that stood out to you that you liked or didn't like? Something like that.
I don't think there's much I didn't like about it. One thing I liked about it was just the cutscenes. It's got a different art style to it, bro. It's not your traditional, or you got like your movie like cutscene. Like it's more like some movement animation.
Yeah.
It's just kind of different for me. I haven't played something like that. I haven't seen something like that. Since you showed me Killer Safe, and besides that, I haven't seen anything like that. So it's quite different and interesting for me.
I was actually thinking of one thing, like, oh, by the way, I'm just standing like in the lobby of the main, like in the beginning. I was thinking of two things yesterday. I was thinking of the fact that one, the art style, like you're saying, the cel-shaded characters, the lo-fi aesthetic, since it's so different and it's so animated and it's so cartoony, does it... I actually feel like it makes it less visually scary. You know what I mean? For example, I'll take a game like Silent Hill, where the screen is very dark, it's very hazy, there's lots of static and noise, it's hard to see, everything looks dirty, grimy, bloody, rusted, right? Like even Tormented Souls. Just looking at the image before you even play it kind of makes you uneasy. You know what I mean? But in this game, the fact that it's more artistic, more cartoony, kind of makes it, in my view, less scary, at least the demo.
It's too colorful for
me. Exactly. It's much too colorful. And then the second thing I thought about was, even if this aesthetic is scary for someone, the third eye mechanic kind of gives you a way to relax, because once you activate third eye, it shows you things as if they are normal. And I feel like that has it has some trick that it plays on your brain, because when you see like a clean floor, things are not broken, things are looking normal, it makes it even less scarier to look at.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's quite
Maybe
interesting.
they're targeting a
Oh
different
no.
Yeah,
audience.
it's not even like, it's not really a bad thing for me. I don't mind playing horror games that are not too scary. You know what I mean? For me, I can enjoy the mechanics with a little bit of horror. It's okay. It's interesting that they chose to do this, because I feel like they did it on purpose. This isn't by accident. You know what I mean? It's not by accident that they chose this style. So think about it like fighting games, and they're always trying to make fighting games easier. So maybe this is like making horror games less scary, but they did it in a cool way. You know what I mean? Where it's like it's still horror, but it's less scary. So it's like making it more accessible, like you were saying. Yeah, I feel like a good example, I'm trying to think of a good example of a fighting game that managed to do the whole thing of making fighting games easier, but still remaining an interesting fighting game.
That'll be tough. Grand Blue.
Maybe Grand Blue. I was actually about to say Under Night. But Grand Blue and Under Night, maybe they are good examples of lowering the barrier to entry to the fighting games, but still being so having so much variety that the skilled players and the beginner players each have their own thing that they can go for. You've got a little bit of everything for everyone. So you made it easy without actually destroying what makes a fighting game a fighting game. So I think Under Night and Grand Blue are good examples. And this can be like the Grand Blue of horror games.
Yeah, I got a point there.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it quite a lot. And I guess it also helps that you get to do some dialogue with all these different characters that are there. And of course, maybe budget means that, they couldn't get voice acting for all the characters. But
that's why they chose this.
Yeah, you do the text and you're reading. But the thing is, as you are reading, you are paying attention to the words, not the screen. So it gives you a moment to relax. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. For a horror game, it's actually not a horror game, but it's a horror game. You know what I mean? That's how smart they are. But I don't know. Maybe they did it by mistake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if they didn't do it by mistake, that means these guys are much, much smarter than I thought they were.
Get that market share, man.
Yeah. Because I don't think anyone in recent times has done a horror game like this, in this style. There are some other games, like for example, you'll see when we play Holstein. It's also where it's like, I never thought horror game could be done in that way. You know what I mean? So it's also got its own unique thing, but it's quite cool, this. Okay,
What about Nightmare of Decay?
Nightmare of Decay. The thing is about Nightmare of Decay, technically speaking, all it really did was manage to capture the original Resident Evil, but in first person. So, for example, Nightmare of Decay is a good game, but it's as close to the foundation of survival horror as survival horror can be. You know what I mean? Nightmare of Decay is a better Resident Evil 7 than Resident Evil 7. Because Resident Evil 7 was trying to go back to the foundation and then put it into the first person view so that it's more like an immersive survival horror game. But I feel like Nightmare of Decay did it even better. So as much as it's a good game, it's not a completely unique game. Because Resident Evil 1 will still exist. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to think like what Nightmare of Decay did that was more unique than Resident Evil 1. Because the thing is, maybe
This graphics.
it's like combat design, situation design was more interesting. Going to sleep, yeah, but it's falling within that category of like Resident Evil 1 survival horror, except in first person. So its closest competitor is actually Resident Evil 7, but I feel like Nightmare of Decay is maybe a much more interesting game than Resident Evil 7. It's the one example where the copy does better than the original. You know what I mean? Yeah, where the student becomes the master kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not ready by the station. Can you talk to this woman?
Okay. I'm still in that dream sequence.
To me. Yeah, fun.
Okay. Now going to the station. Yeah, I was thinking about that graphics wise, because I feel like what makes a horror game scary is the setting. The setting and the scene is the most important thing. So for example, if they were to make a horror game and then they put you in the middle of a busy street in the middle of the day with a bright sun, you know what I mean? It will be less scary than if it's in the middle of the night and it's hard to see and all these different things.
Alien isolation.
Yeah.
But when you're under the underground, yeah, you go back to that sense of horror.
Yeah.
When you're upstairs, like, what is this? But when you get there, that environment sinks in.
Yeah. That's where the whole third eye thing kicks in, because like I said, it's like if this becomes a bit too much for you, you can just use that mechanic and things are bright and colorful and all that stuff, you know what I mean? So it gives you that little break from the reality that the game is trying to feed you. It's quite interesting.
I've killed this rat.
Just watching the getting the X.
Give me your money. Exponential growth.
Exponential growth. at least you know what's going on there in Zim, man. People are just going for maximum profits. Yeah, it's interesting. I just wonder what they'll go for in terms of the story, because so far the demo is like, oh, this girl doesn't want to move on from her previous love, so she's still stuck in the past, sort of. And then this demon comes offering the love of it. And it's like, okay, that's the premise. So I'm assuming that at some point this Michelle chick will maybe find out that the chick she's been looking for all this time was actually trapped in this demonic world, maybe, and it's like, oh, reunited in the end, finally finds love, maybe even beats this demon because it's like, no, I found the person I'm looking for, not you, kind of thing. Justin,
Nice.
what's going on, man? No, it's all good.
doing
Enjoy.
alright.
Enjoy, man, enjoy. We had already played through the game before yesterday, where we were going through the dialogue and what the people are saying, what's going on. Now we're just taking more of a deep dive, just talking about mechanics and stuff like that, and not so much about the dialogue. So we're just talking about the aesthetic and how it affects its horror, how it affects the horror, the fact that the game is cel-shaded, colorful characters, lo-fi aesthetic and stuff like that. And how the third eye makes things brighter also can affect your immersion within the horror kind of thing. So we're gonna go through we're gonna go through the demo again, but the catch is that we're not using third eye for any combat whatsoever. So just for exploration, puzzles, stuff like that. I would say if the demo is there on PS5, Justin, I would advise you to try it out. What are you saying, Tito?
I was saying, but getting hit is easier. But
Getting hit is easier without third eye.
yeah, without that.
Okay, so it takes 3 melee hits to take out a rat. That is not good news at all.
Yeah. So if it's the rat, what more if that's...
Yeah, exactly. At least with those types of enemies, my guess is that we are gonna be using the guns, which means they won't necessarily be hard. But what you call this? The main issue will be ammunition. And I'm gonna see if I can go through certain sections without even fighting. Can you see how there's a rat in the train station? Where the train is at?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not engaging with it. I'm just running around, picking up the water and going. I want to see just how much of the combat can be engaged with and how much can be avoided. I'm gonna play it like a proper survival horror. Wasn't there artifact by that train? I feel like there was another artifact before.
No, there was just a water bottle. The only artifact you get is by when you first meet this goat-looking chick. Where inside that vendor shop, that's where you get that artifact. The first one.
I see. Okay, I'm chilling by the person in the toilet.
Oh man, I skipped that. Man, I went straight for the gun.
Do you by any chance have a Steam Deck? Oh no, sadly no. I have no handheld whatsoever. Honestly, I don't think I've ever owned a handheld of any kind in my life, and by owned I mean like it belongs to me. Of course, I've played on various Nintendo handhelds in my life. None of them necessarily belonged to me. You know what I mean? I've played on a PSP before, but it never belonged to me. And I believe I knew someone who had a PS Vita, but I never got to play on it. Cousin of mine has a Switch. I've played on it, but never belonging to me. So I don't have a Steam Deck. But to be honest with you, if I were to have a handheld, I think maybe that would be the one. If it would allow me to play some of the games that I'm already playing, you know what I mean, on my PC, when I'm not by my PC, to be good for traveling. For example, imagine if I could play Street Fighter 6 with D2 on my Steam Deck when I'm somewhere else. That would be cool. I think that would be cool. But no, I don't have one. I wonder what it's like though. I've never seen one in real life. I've only ever seen it like online.
Steam Deck, I mean that controller with the touchpad.
Steam Deck is the Steam handheld.
Okay, now that I have to pull that.
Let's see. Okay, wait. Actually, I wanted to say Steam Deck to lead up to your stock. Yeah, PK Sims. Here we go. Yeah, I'm taking the pistol now.
Going to the
so it's like the two rats leading up to the pistol I did not fight, so they're still out there. And then I'm going to see how much of the combat I'm going to be able to do without this third eye and dodging as much as I can. Just try play it as if you're playing, typical survival horror. Don't fight what you don't have to. Only fight what you have to, kind of thing, and no third eye.
I know those good-looking items. That's the one I remember.
That's where, that corridor with the thorns and the goat, that doesn't go down. But I guess one thing, it would mean that now you have to make like your shots count, in the sense like headshots. Check if headshots actually deal more damage than body shots. Because here in the tutorial with the pistol, if you're shooting at the board and you're aiming at like the body or the legs, you get 10 points. You hit the head is 25. So it's like, I guess now... Oh no, I'm surrounded? Nope, not yet. Let's see, please read this to D2. Please. So D2, apparently I'm supposed to tell you to tell Ben to bring the drive tomorrow because MK11 is giving him issues. Because I previously in Steam and it's saying unable to open Steam client.64. And injustice. Okay, man, just text D2. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Tell him to send me those messages on WhatsApp.
Yeah, he can hear you. He's listening to the stream. Yeah, because I don't know what I can and cannot say on the internet these days. You never know.
So I have to figure out, because the only person who I know installed the game with no problems is White. So I have to ask him.
Have you shot the eye?
Yeah, I shot the eye.
Okay, I'm going in.
And I'm up.
Those two rats, I'm not messing with them at all. But so far, so good. Pick up pistol.
Now this good-looking item, it takes like 5 bullets, headshots.
Yeah, I've encountered my first. Yep, you're right. It's a lot of headshots. It makes me wonder now you get into a room with 2 or 3, what's gonna be the plan?
Yeah. And Ben is also still, remember, he's still preparing for exams, so I don't know if he'll be free.
Man, this thing dragging the unkillable thing is unkillable. Oh no. Almost used third eye on the rats. Yeah, this is bad. This is bad. This is really bad. Bruh, I've got 10 bullets, 12 actually. I don't know how I'm gonna get. I think I'm gonna get hit. No, I made it out. Oh no. Yeah, this was a bad idea.
Yeah, it was a bad
This
idea.
is a bad idea. I think I might have to X. Except I need to turn off this third eye.
You know what to do? You pick the pistol, shoot 2 headshots, and then quickly swap to the axe.
Yeah, that's a very good deal. The thing is, right now I'm in a room with 1 rat and 2 goatmen, so yeah.
Yeah, one was dead. Yeah, it's not an easy thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know how this room can be taken down. Come on now. This, yeah, okay. It's a whole different game.
It's like we're playing Knifing of
It's
Decay.
a whole different game. This is literally hard mode.
Yeah.
This is hard mode for free. Okay. Luckily enough, the goat is not in the same vicinity as me. Got the key card. And bullets. Oh yes. Oh yes. Okay, so generally speaking, in terms of game balancing, I don't know if the game will have like difficulty settings like easy, normal, hard. I hope it doesn't, because for example, if there's gonna be a hard mode and someone decides to do like a playthrough, like of course one of the achievements is going to be like kill 0 enemies with third eye mode activated, you know what I mean, like what we're playing now.
Yeah.
If it's already this hard, the hard mode might become, you know, a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if it would be possible to play the game on a supposed hard mode with no third eye without doing some like cheap tactics to go through the game, you know what I mean? So I'm not sure.
Yeah, it'll be something else.
One thing though, you can go close, bait it into an attack. Aha, okay, we're learning. You can get close and run back. As soon as you get within its range, it will attack. You know what I mean? So you run out of the range, it whiffs the attack, you go in, you punish. You know what I mean?
Because the only thing I notice is if it's walking towards you, you can hit it whilst it's trying to get towards you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like small rats.
Yeah, I don't know. I still feel that the axe is not as good as it should. Either the axe has to do more damage for the little range it has, or it has to have more range. No, I mean like if it's gonna be if it's going to be the only melee weapon you have, it has to be useful, because bullets will run out. That's the thing. Bullets will run out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like either it has to do more damage, or it has to have more range, or there has to be a better melee weapon after the axe later on in the game at the very least. Because if it's taking like 3 to 4 shots for a rat with an axe, then the bigger enemies, there should be no chance you would kill them without them killing you first, you know?
That
Yeah,
will change, bro. Updates.
yeah, yeah.
It's a demo, so
Yeah, you never know what the final balance will be like. I've powered on the train already. I'm just gonna run back here
I'm
and
not
check if
saying
I never left anything.
getting on the train. Even if you left it, bro, it's not much you can do with it.
Yeah, there's nothing here. But yeah, it's definitely definitely a game I'm very interested in. And right now, without using third eye, it's maintaining that that dark
Yeah,
like horror, and you are the only thing that's
it
kind
will
of
run, it
bright.
will run.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, I believe I've got 2 rats here.
Let's see if I've got the. I'll try to use X first.
That's how you die. That's how you die. Yeah. You have to play it much differently without third eye. Guarantee. You can't play the same game we were playing yesterday. Yesterday it was pretty easy with third
Well, the
eye.
shotgun is
Shot.
quite better. What you need is shotgun aim one shot at the head and then X instead.
Mm.
So the
I'm going
yeah
to.
you
Before I get on the train, I'm gonna go back to the bathroom just to drink water, and then I'll get on the train. I feel like actually without third eye is when you get the true value of the bigger weapons. You know what I mean? Because when we were using third eye, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna do 2 shots or 3 shots with a pistol. So why should I care if it's a shotgun or a pistol? I just need 2 or 3 shots and that's it. So now that you have to really do damage, things like the shotgun actually become valuable. So yeah, I'm not sure when it comes to game balance how they're gonna do it, but they'll make it interesting. Cause like I was saying like previously, the length of the game is what I'm scared about the most. If it's gonna be standard survival horror time, which is 6 to 8 hours, how do they keep it fresh for 6 to 8?
I think for them they need to play it safe, like Nightmare Quick,
Yeah,
simple.
yeah,
With all these mechanics.
2 hours, and that's it. 3 hours. I wouldn't mind if it was like a 3-hour game, 3 to 4 hours, where it's like you can do it in 2 sittings. If you really like, I'm gonna sit down for 2 hours today, then I sit down for 2 hours tomorrow. I think that would be okay. Can be like a weekend game kind of feel.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got the shotgun.
I'm about to end the cutscene. Look, I got all this for you. Exponential spending.
Yeah, I know the shotgun works. There's a gun here. There's a gun.
It's the gun. The gun.
At least when you are aiming, you can switch weapons without getting out of first person.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
So at least you know when you're running out of ammunition middle of a fight. Let me just silence this phone here. Oh no. Almost got. I'm now by the cutscene as well, just running past to see if there was anything else. But I think this is a very, in terms of designing a demo, I feel like this is a well-made demo in the sense that you get a feel for everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Maybe this is just the beginning of the full game. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't a specific section, like the game starts like this. And even if that is the case, they constructed a very good intro to the game. You know what I mean? It teaches you everything. It shows you some interesting things early on, and already are kind of hooked as to what's going on.
Like at them and us, aren't you? Them and us did the same thing. The demo us.
Exactly.
That one was but it was not a good first chapter.
Them and Us was a good game that suffered from bad balancing.
Yeah.
That's my main complaint about Them and Us, is that it was actually a nice game. It was just the balancing of the whole game was very strange. It's as if you could see that it was an indie game that was developed in phases. And with each phase of development, it's as if the developer decided to adopt a different style of balancing or design. So the first section of the game is way different from the second section of the game, is way different from the third, and then the ending is like it's a totally different game. You know what I mean? It's as if
They had planned it all out.
that, or like they got the, since it's an indie company, it's like they developed like a little bit, then they needed to go look for money, then they took a break, then they came back again, developed a little bit, took a break. It's the same what we say when we're drawing, where it's like coming back to a drawing after like 2 weeks of not drawing is very difficult because you don't even know what you were thinking about when you last, drew. So Them and Us feels like that. It's as if the person did something and stopped, did something and stopped. It's a mixture of so many different things. Even the intro cutscene, if you remember, it starts off with like a painting style. And then after the painting, there's text. Then after text, it's like comic book. Like it's going as if it's a comic book. And then after that, it's like a 3D graphics cutscene. And then after that, it's like painting again. So it's like, that's 4 different art styles for the intro movie. What are you trying to be? You know what I mean? Pick your art style and go with it. Don't have 4 different art styles for just one cutscene. Yeah, so it felt very confused. Either they weren't in agreement, whoever worked on the game, or there was a lot of changing of ideas, or like the person changed their mind multiple times throughout the development of the game. It's very confusing if you're looking at it from a design point of view.
Yeah, I mean, I'm now done.
I'm here where they're throwing all that money. Money.
You're the one playing tormented souls. I'm sorry, Mina.
That was a very, 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 very good game. The only thing that maybe I can say was a negative about Tormented Souls to me was that it's still 2 things, or 3 actually. One, it still suffered from the classic survival horror navigation and puzzles, where it's like, without a guide, when was I going to figure out that this is the right way to go? You know what I mean? And without a guide, how was I going to figure out this puzzle? Because I remember there was a puzzle in Tormented Souls that actually required knowledge of music theory. So it's like, if I never went to a music school, how was I going to finally figure this out? Besides trial and error for like 5 hours. You know what I mean?
That nonsense.
Yeah, so that survival horrors do that. So it's nothing new. I just don't like it. You know what I mean? It's good to have puzzles. It's good to have like maze like structure, but don't do it in such a way whereby it's not intuitive. It should be intuitive where I should go next, or it should be intuitive how I should solve a puzzle. I shouldn't either struggle or find a guide. But anyway, some people like that. You know what I mean? Some people were solving Rubik's Cubes as a child. So maybe it's for people like them. But it's not for people like me. The second thing was the stalker, the nemesis of the game, your sister. If you enter a room, it plays the sound that the nemesis is in that room with you, and then you can just exit the room, and then it refreshes, the nemesis is gone. So that was definitely a bug that needed to be fixed.
You slice it in half.
You leaving the
Like-
room should not remove the nemesis from the room. You know what I mean? It's one of those, the nemesis is there with you, it should follow you, but as soon as you leave the room, the nemesis goes away. So they could have done it in such a sense that the nemesis has a specific amount of time in which it's chasing you. So if I enter a room and run away, it will follow me to the room I ran away to. Also, it shouldn't play a song when the nemesis is there, because you already, as soon as you hear that song, you know the nemesis is there. Your sister will be there chasing you. So it should just be a silent thing, that it only plays the song when you run into the nemesis, so that it actually scares you. Then it would have been okay. You know what I mean? But it warns, as soon as you enter a room, it warns you that the nemesis is there, which means you immediately exit the room and then the nemesis is gone. So that was problem number 2. And then problem number 3, which one was, let me try to think. Generally speaking, I feel like Tormented Souls could have been an hour or 2 hours shorter. There came a point in that game where I felt like there was additional backtracking. There was additional backtracking. Like, go back to that place over there. Go back to that place over there. Where it's just like, are they doing this because it's interesting, or they're just wanting the game to last a little bit longer? That game could have been 1 hour shorter. Minimum, it could have been an hour shorter or more. But towards the end, there was just too much backtracking. And the backtracking was to solve things where it's like, without a guide, how was I going to figure this out? So those were the 3 things. Besides those things, Tormented Souls was a very fantastic game. Very fantastic indie. Wait, I solved Rubik's Cubes and it's not even me. Man, then I don't know. I really don't know what that style of puzzle and navigation, what it's for. Because just similar to Metroidvania games, those games also have that issue of navigation is actually difficult. And for me personally, I like to have to think it's okay. I don't mind. But I feel like, you know what I mean? Where to go next is a puzzle on its own. I don't know.
That in a horror.
Yeah, especially in a horror game. You know, if I'm playing some game like Hollow Knight or Metroid or a Bloodstained Ritual of the Night or something, at least it's action, at least it's fun, it's cool. I can be going around killing things while I try to figure out where to go. But in horror games, it's like, man, have some hints. Bro. Yeah, have some hints. Also, in terms of puzzle solving, remember I said in Tormented Souls, there's a puzzle where you need to know music theory. You have to solve a sequence of puzzles, one of which includes playing on a piano, and you need to know the things that are going on. If you were to think about it like you want to immerse yourself into the story of the game and immerse yourself into the world, who in their right mind is in a hostile environment and something is chasing them, trying to kill them, and you stop to learn how to play a piano? You know what I mean? It doesn't. Just imagine watching some Jason or Michael Myers movie or something, and as Jason is chasing the teenage girl, she ducks into some room, goes into a corridor, goes into another room, and then starts playing a piano. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. Or some murderer enters some person's house and the person has like an exit door out the house that the murderer doesn't know about, but this exit door can only be opened by playing on a piano. It's like it just doesn't suit what's going on. Something is about to kill you. I don't think you have time to sit down and play a piano. So
That's adrenaline hits, bro. There's no, it's fight
yeah.
or flight.
Yeah, exactly. So those are just the things, but those are problems not just for tormented souls. That's just survival horror as a general genre. It has that issue,
Yeah.
and it makes sense because survival horror started from point and click adventures with the Alone in the Dark, and those games were also like navigation is a puzzle, puzzles are a puzzle. You know what I mean? They lived off puzzles, point and click games. So yeah, I feel like that's something that I hope will not be present in Sorry We're Closed. At least in this
Yeah.
demo, there was never a time where the puzzle was too crazy and you can't imagine what to do next, or the navigation was too crazy that you didn't know where to go to next. So I hope that it maintains this, maybe just a little bit more difficult in terms of puzzles, just a little bit more, but the navigation should be kept this way. It would be good enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my 2 cents. That's my 2 cents on this one. I feel like it's a really good game so far. I hope it will be, the full release will be nice, and I think I've seen everything that I need to see from this demo. There's no other
That's quite
question marks.
promising. Yeah.
There are no other questions I have about what the game could be. Maybe getting closer to the release, maybe it can explain better the characters. Like maybe they'll release some trailers or something explaining better the
Add
characters, or
more
like
features.
what's really going on. But yeah, now it's just for the main game. I'm thinking the next demo we'll play is that actually, instead of going to plastomorphosis, I'm thinking we'll play Heartworm first, because that one will definitely be different from this, because plastomorphosis is also like a third person fixed camera like this, you know what I mean, but different aesthetic. That one actually is very close to the horror you're used to, you know what I mean. So that one, you'll know it. When you see it, you'll know it. But Heartworm is more like over the shoulder third person. So more like Them and Us, the mode you selected when you played Them and Us. You know what I mean? Yeah, where it's more over the shoulder, behind the character's back, third person, you have freedom to move the camera. But from what I heard, it's a very interesting game. Yeah, there's another game called Post Trauma, and that one looks very good. It had a demo some 6 months ago, but I never played that demo. Now the development has gone into like the final phase, so they've done some improvements to the game. They released a trailer, so they took down that old demo, because technically that old demo doesn't represent what the game is now. So sadly, we'll never be able to play that demo, but it's another one that I'm looking forward to next year, and a few others. So I guess this would be a good point to close the stream. For anyone else who will catch this one offline, thank you for watching it at that point, and for the people who've been watching it here, Rampo-san, BK Sibs, thank you. And
Thank you.
yes. So maybe tomorrow evening, I'm not sure what time I'll be back, we'll do the Heartworm demo. I don't know how long it will be, but we'll do Heartworm. And then after that, on the weekend, maybe we can finish with the plastomorphosis. Then we'll see. So I guess that's it for now. Hold on. And yeah, any last things you wanted to say, Tito?
Yeah, no, last thing. Just trying to remember that last horror game we played, the one where boxes would run towards us. Do you still remember it?
Boxes?
All right, the last boss fight, we're doing like a Russian roulette. Wait, there's this down, and then it will spin. Then maybe to choose to hit us with a fist, and then maybe a clap.
Was it a first person game or not?
Yes, first person.
It was I know the game, but Let me see. Let me put my Steam to the side. Categories horror. Open that. It's the one that was made by a Hungarian team. Remorse the List.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
that's a
you
very
remember.
good game. Yeah, that's a good game. Well, let's end it here. Thank you everyone. This was Sorry We're Closed. Hopefully this will be something you'll be checking out next year. It's a very, very interesting game. And we'll check you out probably tomorrow evening for more streaming action.
Yeah, I think it was a good. I think this one had like understandable puzzles.